I shouldn't even have to say this, but if you want to get featured in the media, you have to be available when a journalist needs you, right? This isn't rocket science. Personally, I feel like this is just common sense. There's a finite number of journalists out there, right? And if you've been watching the news, you've probably heard about the layoffs. So there's fewer journalists every day. But there's thousands, if not millions, of other people who do the same thing that you do. Now, they might not be as good. They might not be as ethical. There may be other reasons why they shouldn't be up there sharing their opinion, and it should be you instead. But if you're not willing to accommodate that journalist, adjust your schedule as needed, make yourself available when they need you, you're not going to get featured because they're not going to wait around for you. Now, granted, if you're some high profile person, and I don't mean in your mind, I mean in your industry's mind, somebody that everyone in your industry already looks up to, already cites all the time, sure, they may be willing to make some concessions. But generally speaking, if you're not a very prominent figure in your industry and a journalist comes to you with an opportunity, or they come to your publicist, what's going to happen is if you don't make yourself available when they need you, because remember, they've got deadlines they have to meet. They have bosses that they have to answer to, just like you do, just like I do. If you're not available when they need you, they're going to move on to the next person. And there's plenty of other people out there. And like I said, they may not be as good as you. They may not have the same level of integrity. They may not care as much about their clients. But if they're available, that's who the journalist is going to pull if you're not available when they need you. So this is not a thing that should have to be said, but it does because I see it all the time. Case in point, we had a client that we worked with a few years ago who we had landed a very prominent media feature. He was going to be in an article on Fox Business, top of the fold on the homepage. Absolute game-changing PR opportunity. I called the client, got no answer. Called him a few more times, texted him a few times. Finally, after a few hours, I got a hold of him. And he's like, well, they're just going to have to call me back next week because I'm out playing golf at a bachelor party.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Absolutely insane. This is a game-changing opportunity, and he thought that the media was just going to adapt to his schedule. Now, that's not how it happens. We managed to pull some strings, make some things happen, get the info we needed from him for them. Lots of scrambling, though, that really shouldn't have had to happen. And had I not done what I did, he would have completely missed out on that opportunity. But this is not an isolated incident. I see this happen with so many people, whether it be a journalist reaches out to their publicist or maybe reaches out to them directly, which occasionally happens. Not very often unless you're already a very prominent figure in your industry. Too often I see people who will, delay responding. They won't get back for hours or sometimes days. So for example, I had a PR opportunity that came up a while back for a former client, and I had emailed him about it, and for whatever reason, his schedule just didn't accommodate. I wrote it off. It was a done deal. It was over with. But he reaches out to me about 6 months later saying, hey, is this opportunity still here? Well, of course not. Do you think that a journalist is just sitting there for 6 months? Man, I hope I can finish this article someday. No, that shit's not happening. That's ridiculous. Bottom line, if you want to get featured in the media and get all of the benefits that come with that, right? Becoming a recognized authority in your industry, attracting more opportunities, earning more money, all of these things that come with being featured in the media, if you want to do that, you have to be available when a journalist needs you. That might mean moving some things around in your schedule. That might mean working after hours to be available. It might mean getting up way early. I've got clients who we put them on TV sometimes on the morning shows, and maybe the morning show is in the Eastern time zone, but they're over here in California in Pacific time. So they've got to get up several hours before these morning shows, right? And you're looking at a morning show, it might be 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, but they're getting up. They're making the moves. They're doing what they have to do because of the impact that it creates for them. So when you have an opportunity, you have to do whatever you can to accommodate that journalist's schedule so that they can put you in that article, and then you get all of the benefits that come from that. But if you don't do that, they're going to find someone else. They're not waiting around for you. So my advice is do whatever you can to be available for them, and it's going to change your business entirely. All right, so if you found this useful, I would appreciate the hell out of it if you would share this with your circle so that other people can benefit from this information as well. And if you're not already following me and subscribed, then I would appreciate it if you would do that as well. And we'll see you on the next video.